Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Survivor TTS Season 3 finale. I'm Matthew Schwartz, winner of Season 1, and it has been an honor being your host this crazy, bizarre season. We are going to cover everything that has possibly been on your mind, but first, let's get to the moment everybody's been waiting for, introducing the amazing cast of TTS Survivor Season 3. In the order of the elimination, I'm going to say their names, even though they're not here, and we'll just have a moment to remember who they were, because they were all epic. First off, we had Colin. He was an absolute king. Then Joe, then Danny. And now introducing our first person to turn on their video, my dear friend, Brett Rose. Hey, bestie. Then we have Emily. And then we have Jack. Come on in. Then we have Brian, Georgia, and Naomi. We don't have Brian, but we do have Georgia and Naomi. Come on in. Oh my goodness. Hi, Queens of the Universe. Hello. Then next up, we have Clara. After Clara was Izzy. And then for our top three, we have Megan, Grace, and Jacob. Oh my God, everyone turn your mics off. Let's say hi to each other. It is crazy to be in a room together knowing this is it.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, y'all.
Hi.
You know, I wanted to touch on some of the stuff this season that was pretty freaking crazy that we didn't get to touch on in the first reunion, which was all the crazy emotional aspects of the show. Because I do think that things got rather heightened emotionally. So I want to cover some of those things, some of the tones of all of this. I'm talking specifically what it felt like in the moments when things were really tense between Naomi and the returning players. When Megan's consistent save, I don't want to win the game, I don't want to win, was coming out. I want to talk about the emotions that were raging in this game because I was there at those eliminations and the emotions were high. So let's get into it. Naomi, you took charge in a lot of some of the emotional aspects of the show. What were you feeling in those moments? Why did you need to express the way that you did?
I don't really know. I think I'm very competitive and I get really heated. So then everything made me heated because not a lot was actually happening. So I made stuff up in my head. I mean, it was real, but I turned the wheels and I started yelling at people. But
I said that in a way that was not meant to sound condescending. Like, why did you speak to people the way that you did? Because it was epic and it was also very clearly for a reason. Georgia, you were also someone who got very impassioned by moments of Survivor. I want you to talk to me about that because this season was different, but it still had a lot of those really passionate moments that were there in the second season. So talk to me about what drove those.
I felt like I really started to get emotionally invested, of course, during Naomi's famous speech. That was when I was like, you know what? It's no longer about me winning. It's about a favorite winning. And that's when I kind of sacrificed my soul to the game and I did my Scar Mufasa Lion King moment and I long live the king, Naomi. And I dragged the both of us down to the depths of the canyon. And I did it in the hopes that I pushed in that way emotionally. So in the hopes that, you know, once I was gone, then it was literally just Grace who was the only favorite left. And it was so important to me that Grace made it to the end then, and she absolutely did. She absolutely did.
I mean, I sort of did a similar thing. Once I went down, I was like, Jacob and Megan are not winning. But that's just me being petty. Like, that's nothing personal. That's just me being like mean.
So yeah, that kind of ended up showing out in the final jury. So let's get into that because that wasn't something that we talked about the last episode. That got really heated. I'm definitely seeing some impassioned faces from Jacob and Megan in particular. Do y'all feel some type of way about how that went down? Am I reading that wrong?
I mean, there's a lot of complex emotions throughout this game, but one of the strongest emotions for me, especially about losing all of this footage, is how happy I am that we don't actually have video record of that finale. That was a terrible moment in my life. So I'm nothing but pleased at this point about the finale.
Wait, Jacob, let's get into that for a second. What is there to not be proud of? I mean, you made it to the final three, and I will say that whether or not you feel like that shows in the footage, the accomplishment is there. And if there's one thing you learned from Survivor, it's to appreciate the people for making it as far as they made it.
Yes, that is a positive point as well.
Like, what would you have done different?
Well, first of all, I would have had my speech prepared to be much, much shorter. I was preparing about a 5-minute speech, and I think we had a shorter time to get through that, and that really threw me off. But also, you know, as the eldest member of the group here, you know, it's pretty difficult for me to remember absolutely anything. And so by the time the finale rolled around, I don't remember what I did. I don't remember where I was or what was happening. And so I really would have, like, you know, studied the Slack before that disappeared. That would have been really, really helpful. And yeah, I think also by that time, in terms of your last question, just like the emotional like burden of the entire show was just so heavy, and it was just a lot at that point. So
yeah, Megan, you're nodding along. How did you feel about all this?
Yeah, I feel like I get where Jacob's coming from. Like, obviously, it was really sad we lost the footage, but that finale wasn't like a big shining bright moment for me in my Survivor journey. I think like with the process and like you asked, like it was like, how did you feel when like your closest ally throughout the entire game wanted you to lose by the end, and her entire goal was to make you and your other closest ally to like not win? That didn't feel great, especially when it's somebody as tactical as Naomi, like someone with the brain on their shoulders like Naomi has. Going into the finale and getting butt fucked, for lack of a better word, by our sweet ally was not the most enjoyable day of my life. And that's okay. It's, I think, like realistically speaking, like Jacob and I, like luckily or unluckily, we're on the right side of almost every single vote in the game. We got almost every single one of you except for, I believe, Jack and Georgia eliminated. Because those, like, Jack wasn't on our team and Georgia was a blindside on us. But I think like it makes sense why like we had the jury situation that we had, but doesn't change the fact that like it wasn't necessarily a fun day. It wasn't the happiest day of my life to be sitting there and and again, like I changed my story the whole time. I was like, I don't want to be here. And then I was there, and then it was like, yeah, they're bad. And like, right, no, like I get it. Like, you know, like I was hoping that somebody would ask me which player I was most like on Survivor. I was like preparing for this. Because for those of you who know, season 14, Dreams, he promised the entire season, he was like, yeah, man, like, I'll give you, if you give me this car, like, you can have the final spot. If you give me this car, Notoriously, infamously, this man sat in the final three, even after promising he wouldn't be. And that's me. That's who I am. And that's who you all must bow down to as member of the final three. That's all. Okay.
Whoa. Does anyone have anything to say about that?
Megan, I'll say this much. I respect you as a person, and I even respect your game. And the only reason I think I skewered you so hard at that final elimination was, I think, just one too many times you had said, "It's okay, I don't want to win." And I don't know why it made me mad, because I was like, I understand wanting to get certain people to the end, but I don't understand saying that over and over again. And so that was, I don't know. It would have been nice, because there was a lot of great players this season, both fans and favorites. And not to say it feels like a shame that you were there over one of them, but also that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, soup. It did happen.
Brett, I'll have you know, I still have my little button from the first season that says Team Brett on it. I've been holding on to it because I was planning to set it on fire when I voted you out.
You know, it would have been so sick and twisted if you had worn that button to the elimination and then still voted for me.
I literally would have. That was the plan, actually. I was like, I can't wait to vote him out.
My God, you could have, like, the vote would be red, and then you rip it off your shirt and throw it dramatically.
So, Megan, we're seeing a new side of you this evening. This is Megan with no remorse from the Megan Miss Friendly. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm just here to make friends. I love my besties.
I am here to make friends, and I love every single one of these people, but I refuse to get butt fucked again. It's hard enough the first time. Thank God that footage is dead. I was like, I can't watch this episode.
Now, one person who probably didn't feel that way about the final jury was Grace. Grace, hearing all of this, how do you feel?
Okay, going into final jury, I like wrote my speech and I was like terrified. I was like, all of these people could hate me right now and I would have absolutely no clue. And then going into final jury, and then like, I think I was most surprised by Naomi, honestly, just because I didn't, like, Naomi said it in her speech too, like, I didn't talk to Grace at all. And I was like, I didn't talk to Naomi at all. We did not speak. And so I think I was like most surprised by Naomi. I was very surprised. There were some kind words said, but there was one thing that I have had on my mind since that final jury, and it was Izzy asking like, hey, why didn't you just vote like to Megan, to me, and then we could have just like had fun with it. And honestly, we could have. I do think about that. I'd be like, at that point, I kind of knew that I was going for top 3 then. So if we wanted to have some fun with it, we could have. And I don't know why I did it. And I think that's okay to admit that I don't know why. And I think it was, you know, maybe it was a mistake. I think it would have been fun to see it happen. Either way, though, it worked out in my favor. And that's what matters.
So,
yeah,
Naomi, you've been referenced saying some pretty powerful things. Do you stand by what you said at the finale? And are there any key points that you feel like should be reminded, should be amended?
I think we should remember when she called specifically Jacob and I brainless. That one has stuck with me for a long time now.
Did I say that? Oh.
Yes, you did.
Oddly, it just flittered right out of my brain too, so I didn't catch that.
Naomi, do you still have the speech?
Yes, I do. I'm not reading it again, but I can screen share and someone else can read it, because the first time I read it, like, I almost barfed. Like,
so do you have anything to amend now that you think back on it?
I mean, I was mean, but I was mean on purpose. I don't think that makes it any better.
Honestly, you know what? This is probably a good time to remember Survivor Skin.
Yeah. Everything that I said, it was completely from like, what's the worst thing I can say about these people so they don't win? But definitely, like, in a bigger perspective, I would have voted for Jacob had I not like was playing a character in the game, you know? Because I really do think Jacob played like a really good game. Yeah.
So that's actually a really interesting point. I mean, the character in the game. Now we've got some major characters. I mean, immediately I'm thinking Georgia. I'm also thinking Clara. I do feel like Clara has her whole character of being like, and Clara, you guys. Like, there's like characters in this game.
But I never chose that one, which is the most disappointing part of it. It's like,
I gotta be honest, you never choose a character. You never really get a choice. I mean, but does anyone think that you get a choice in the character? I mean, like, I don't know. If you disagree.
We did on season 1 a little bit.
I didn't. I felt crazy.
Okay. Well, I felt like an insane villain, so I was like, I'm gonna just roll into this.
Respect.
Well, and to that point, I think that like you can choose some element of your character as you walk into not just the show, but like every situation. But like that character is met with character that is also sort of thrust upon you to be this sort of like complex being. And that's kind of what makes the show so challenging, is it's like really difficult to understand what's real and what's not just in like your relationships with other people, but also like who you're being and the choices that you're making. So that's heavy.
That is absolutely so interesting. And I mean, now we also, one of the special things about fans versus favorites is that you've got favorites coming back with characters already kind of decided that they get to deepen and change in their own ways from whatever they had differently. I mean, Brett, Georgia, and Grace, how did coming into this season, how did you feel like you had to approach it differently? And do you feel like you had to live up to a character?
Oh, totally. I felt like I totally had to live up to this big, bad, crazy Georgia. But I think I said this in the last reunion that, you know, I became that character in season 2 because I had to. I didn't have a choice. It was the only thing that felt like I could do in order to stay in the game. And then this season I realized that, you know, when who even is Georgia when she's not trying to claw her way back into the game? Who is she? And I think that she's a girl who is passionate and cares about this game and has a big heart. And honestly, I think that that Grace being at the end and, you know, just making sure that at least one favorite got to the end, that showed me who my true character really was all along.
I have something to say about, because Georgia, I watched season 2, and I remember at the start of season 2, I was like, Georgia seems so dangerous, like, oh my goodness. But then at the end of season 2, I was like, Georgia, look at Georgia go. This is Georgia's show. This is all for Georgia. I'm here for Georgia. And so like, I thought you were like the coolest. And so like, here you said, oh, so sweet. Anyways, just to let you know, big character growth. Love to see it. Love you, Georgia. But if I could answer Matthew's question too. I don't know if I had a character season 1. And maybe that was the point. Maybe my character was that I was the clueless one. Because I remember distinctly there being a drinking game for the season 1 finale. And it said, take a shot every time Grace says something and then looks confused afterwards. And I felt really touched by that. I was like, this is my brand and it feels right. And so going into season 3, I was like, how do I just at the very least, like, just try to make it? Because like season 1, I was so scared. I talked to Emily because I knew her from high school, and I talked to Camille because we were in a class together, and I was like, hey guys, and I was terrified and I didn't know what to do. And then going into season 3, I was like, how can I do things differently? So I don't know how that shaped into a character. I don't know if that shaped me differently than from season 1 to season 3. I don't know what happened. I don't know. And maybe that is my bit.
I think having like a gap between seasons was nice too, because I wasn't necessarily the freshest target on everyone's minds. I went into this knowing that the only way I would have a fighting chance was to align with bigger targets than me, or just as big of targets as me. So I found this happy little alliance with Georgia and Brian very early on. Just because I think upperclassmen, that's been a big narrative of like putting a target on them, because it's like we look like we're ganging up on the freshmen, and it's so not the case. But so I was like, I have to do this alliance out of A, necessity, and B, like Yosties. And so you know, it was going so well for me, and the game decided it was going too well for me. But I feel like, as far as my character in season 1, you know, the only way I could like top what I did there was to win, and I was like, well, I'm probably not going to win this season. And I knew that when I signed up for this cast. I was like, this isn't going to happen for me. Like, it's not in the cards. And so I went into this just saying, you know what, I'm going to cause as much chaos as I can and have fun with it. And that's why I did the wild and insane things I did at the beginning of the game, was planting all the fake immunity items. You know, I couldn't find it myself. I looked for hours and I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm just going to make it harder for everyone else. And so then I did that. And that also spawned a beautiful little message that Georgia sent me that said, I know what you did. Because and her words, I think, were, nobody else is that smart in this game. Nobody else would do something that just psychotic. And she's right. So that was, I think, my shining moment of the game, was a move that I did before the game even started. And I couldn't be happier. I wish I made it a little further, but honestly, I'm fine with what I did. I had fun, and that's really what I came here for.
So true. We just came here to have fun. Well, okay, I do want to address this a little bit, actually more head on, to get back onto agenda type things. I do want to talk about the tragic elephant in the room, which was that all the footage was lost for a large chunk of the season, and a lot of the characters that you developed, and a lot of these very personal, emotional things that I think can still really manage to be very present. And when they come back alive, they really are alive and crazy to listen to, in an amazing way. So I just wanted to address and ask how everyone was feeling, and also just be like, does anyone have any last thoughts about like how the season was, and how, I don't know, that all happened?
Well, I'm just devastated that my elimination was supposed to be the next episode that got lost. And because of that, my joke I said on the way out the door didn't get aired. So I would like to share that joke now, if the rest of if the company would allow it.
I will.
And I don't know if the cast heard this. I think it was just the producers. It was my exit interview. But I'll say the joke now. Why does Dr. Pepper come in a bottle?
Why?
Because his wife died. Anyway, there you go. It's a thinker. It's a thinker. Anyway, there we go. That was what I wanted to share.
So powerful. Thank you, Brett.
So like, also from my perspective, as happy as I was that specifically like the finale was lost, and as I shared, I think in the last reunion too, like so much of the end of that was just like, again, really like emotionally like fucked up and like felt really, really bad. also that being lost sort of made it like all for naught in a way, and it was like really, really upset. I think I like ran for 3 hours the night that we found out it was lost, because I'm like, I don't know what to do like with myself right now. And so, I mean, there were so many good times too, and you know, I wish that some sort of record lived on, but happy that we're all back now.
I think it was really interesting that this all happened as the pandemic kind of started to lift. And I just want to take the moment to address that, like, this was a solace for so many tens of us during such a scary time. And this really became something that we put all of our hopes and our dreams and our cares and our values into, and it was something that we treasured and held dear. And I remember how the reason why I got so emotional and worked up is because this was something I really cared about when I felt like so many things that I had also cared about had been taken away. And so this became an awesome project to really be able to dedicate my time to during such a random thing to happen, a pandemic, where we couldn't leave the house. And so, you know, all the footage disappearing in this last season, it's sad, but I think that it makes you really think and realize that we had a gift, and now, just like Nanny McPhee, it can't be here anymore when we no longer need it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, let me just say, as the host, and also as someone who has been deeply dedicated to Survivor, as with the rest of our amazing producers, Holly Morgan, Lindsay, Rowen. Brett has also been involved for all 3 seasons. Nora, Zoe, been involved for literally the past year in this. And so it's crazy thinking about how like this was at least something that I dedicated a huge amount of time and effort to. And I love it a lot. And I think that's very poignant. And it's amazing to get to share it with you. And I think that the thing about this show, and what's so amazing and what was also so heartbreaking about losing the footage, is that the game forces you to be so present. Like, it felt like I had time dedicated to being present with a group of people who doing something really specific that I can only do with this group of people. And you know, thinking about it, it's like, I don't need to, like, I'm so present and I get to watch it back and I don't need to remember all the amazing memories because I know that it's safe and recorded. And then it's gone and it's like, wait, but everything was awesome. And I wanted to see that again. I wanted to remember it because I was like, whatever. But the game is so awesome because it makes you so present and it makes those moments happen. And so I was very appreciative of that during a time where it's so hard to be present.
Yeah, I also wanted to say, part of me was a bit relieved because every single time my mom would watch an episode, she would text me or call me, or my sister would call me and be like, you are using too much language in these episodes. I was like, so sorry. So sorry, my dear mother, father, and sister, for using too much language in these episodes. It is true. But I was kind of like, no, wait, no, don't, why? Because like Survivor in general was like really helpful in me, like reaching out to like people that weren't in the 4 or 5 classes that I had a quarter. And a lot of those people were like the same people I was in classes with all year. So I didn't really get to like reach out to that many people. But then like doing this was like super fun. And I also, it wasn't like a school thing. Like I balanced a cup of water on my head. Like I just did silly little things with my silly little friends. And it was such a silly little time. And I had so much fun, especially this season. And just like being in like a new, because like I was back home in Texas for season 1, and now I'm in Chicago in season 3, and it just kind of felt like Survivor was just kind of like this little like journey for me, and like, oh my God, college, and like what's going on, and like, yeah, it was just like really like cutesy and fun, and so yeah.
So true. And now as we're all nostalgic, I would like to have everyone move over, to those who have not yet, to fill out our to go on to the next item of our agenda, which is filling out the fan superlative and series superlative forms that Holly has just dropped in the chat. And then we're going to watch an amazingly nostalgic video of the highlights of the past 3 seasons of Survivor. All right, the responses are in. So let's go through these we'll start with the superlatives. All right, so the first superlative, most dramatic. Our winner was Izzy with 4 votes. For class clown, oh my God, this is so true. Class clown, we have Colin. Oh, he was such a clown.
Love Colin. Tell this day, love Colin.
True. Most likely to stir the pot. Obviously, we had to give it to freaking Naomi, stirring the pot when we needed it most. Oof. Biggest liar. Oh, this comes as no surprise to anyone. Megan Schwartz wins the biggest liar superlative. The sweetest contestant. The winner of sweetest contestant is Grace Archer. So true. For best TV, we've also got a second superlative for Naomi. For messiest, oh my goodness, it was a 2-way tie between some of our favorites, Megan and Danny. Were the 2 messiest of Survivor season 3. You guys, unmute. I feel so cringe being like, see you guys respond.
I can't believe Danny was called messy.
Danny!
Danny's not a mess. He's so clean.
I know, I'm literally shocked. For biggest underdog, unanimous vote for Grace Archer. Oh my goodness. For the mom friend, we've got Clara. OMG. Oh my goodness. Best couple that never was. I mean, was it a question? I mean, we all know who won that one.
You and me, right?
Yeah, wait. Jack and Megan, the best couple that never was. Oh my goodness.
You know, the whole time that we brought that up last week, I was trying to figure out how I could play back into Megan's strategy. Like, for like 3 whole minutes, I was sitting there just like, would I be the swing vote when I came back? Like, would I do this? I had no idea. And then eventually I was like, oh, okay, we're dating. I got it.
Jack, I'll have you know, I went back into my Slack, which hasn't updated. And I used the search bar to be like, how many times have I said Jack's name? It was 58 times.
Jesus Christ. I mean, that's sweet, but Jesus Christ.
I will say though that probably half of those were game talk.
Yeah, like most of that,
You're not that
talk.
crazy. Yeah.
I wonder what
Thank
Jack's
God.
right now. Is he on the other team? Where's Clara at? Like, but 58 times. So that's embarrassing.
Thanks, babe.
You gotta stop saying that.
Sorry, Matthew.
And for best gameplay, the final superlative of the evening, it goes to Naomi. Naomi, any surprise? You were saying it the whole season. Well, that means we must go over to the fan favorite vote and reveal who the fan favorite for this season is. The winner of fan favorite for season 3 is also Naomi.
No.
The power.
Speech.
If it speaks to anything, you literally called me brainless and I still put your name down for fan favorite. I was like, I still need Naomi to be the fan's favorite.
Fan-
So if that speaks to how amazing you are, that you should be anybody's favorite, like that, I think it should.
Fan favorite does
Thank
not
you.
mean congenial here. No, ma'am.
That means we must move on to our series favorite. Who was the favorite player of the series, and luckily we have them sitting here tonight. The series favorite of Survivor TTS is the one, the only, the abominable Georgia Berg.
That is so sweet. So friendly.
And now that we're thinking about all of these amazing things, congratulations to our beautiful winners. Let's turn it over to a walk down memory lane before we announce the winner of season 3, our final winner of Survivor TTS. Let's take a walk down all past 3 seasons, the best memories, the most iconic things that were said. Holly, pull up the vid.
Let's get down to business, shall we?
I'm
I hate to
loyal.
admit for many
I
reasons.
want to find someone who's loyal, all right? I don't want to be mugged off. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to find a lad or a lass who's loyal, okay?
You know what it's like living through COVID with a theater student?
I'm Grace Archer. I'm a BFA 1 theater arts major as well. Pronouns are she, her. And the fun fact about me is that I lost my first tooth as a kid by eating a burnt quesadilla and then I swallowed it.
Oh, Luna, no. 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 Don't wanna.
I've never heard for that reason.
Luna.
Oh no.
She wants to be a part of the game so bad. Oh, don't step on my laptop.
Oh! I'm very curious about something that I read in the Slack in a message from one of our contestants. I'm gonna need to learn more about the centaur in a Victorian bustle gown with moving horse legs. And have you ever known love?
Look, can we talk privately, Antonio?
We can talk in front of everyone else, sure.
Just
okay, so got Lauren Gunderson. Know that one. Let's see here. But yeah, Lauren Gunderson and
For $1, name a woman.
Other teams allowed to heckle during our.
Hey, bubbles and bullshit both start with B.
Oh, wow.
So does Brett.
I'm living at home, so.
Hi there. Hi, well hello there. Thank you so much for being one of the items in our scavenger hunt.
I feel objectified already. Thank you.
Antonio, you may have noticed I'm wearing my blue designer puffer tonight. And that is because I feel a cold wind of victory blowing.
What designer?
A designer who's real. He's quite prestigious. He's male. His name is Giorgio Macaroni.
Brett, throw it. No. Brett, throw it.
Throw it?
I'll throw the challenge.
You want me to throw it?
Please.
You're wobbling.
I know I'm wobbling. Can you please throw the challenge?
No, I'm a community.
I like community.
Let's battle it out.
I apologize for my looking back. My roommates are screaming, "You're the one that I want" from Greece, because they're watching it right now.
Have you been following Colin's journey?
We can hear it downstairs.
I have word from our producers that Danny, you correctly guessed 22 Shakespeare plays me Petey the Wonder Pup.
I trust my team. I trust the Red Scare, but just in case.
Ooh.
And they wear sunglasses so they don't see. You don't see the red in their eyes.
I was just reading a little bit of The Little Foxes by Lillian Hellman. You might remember her from one of our previous challenges. Also a female playwright.
Oh, what's that? I almost sat on another play by a female playwright. That's 2.
I said this in my confessional, but I'll say it here, you know? I heard that snakes and rats can't get COVID, so most of y'all are A1, so...
Until we win a challenge, I'm clinging on to the PR nightmare that is Brady Magruder hates women in the arts.
I just want to apologize. My upstairs neighbors are pounding one out right now. And so I'm like, the bed was creaking and I got really... Anyway, I don't know. If you heard that, I'm sorry.
This person has been inappropriate, unfair, and borderline emotionally abusive, if I'm being honest. And I've sat and I've watched as this person made this game a miserable affair with no attempts to stop them by anybody here who could. So tonight, in protest of the producers' repeated, pernicious, and malicious failures to remove me from this show, I will be leaving of my own accord. Thank you for your time.
Danny, obviously we need a play by a woman.
You guys, it's been a blast, but I know I'm going home tonight, so I'm also just gonna leave, I think.
Alex and Sam, homies 1 and 2, you know, and then you got homies 3 and 4 going, and it's like, well, shit, I'm the only homie left, you know?
The last homie standing.
They really, they dusted all my homies.
What
Fiona,
about
can you Mulan the Nicolas Cage?
Yes. Wait, okay, does that mean... Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just like a good half.
What?
Girl, I see staring straight back at me.
No.
He admitted it. He just admitted it.
Kick me out. What are you gonna do? Kick me out.
Is Colin your little snake? Next up, we have Robert.
Yes.
Robert, your word is gerund.
Fuck you, Antonio. Gerund. B-E-R-R-A-N-D. Gerund.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Yo.
What is more important to you? Strategy or good TV?
What can I say? I'm a performer. I'm a theatrician. Strategy to me is good TV. And good TV, well, that's my strategy.
I was a gymnastics dropout.
Folks, as Shania Twain once said, the first cut is the deepest.
I feel very confident in my team about next week. I think we have incredible players. I think we have strong players. I think we have players that can name more than one female playwright.
The sense of stress followed by relief that I've experienced when I saw Jordan and Fiona come in, and then I saw Fiona wearing orange. I haven't felt that since Joe Biden was elected.
Finally, Brady.
Brady! No, it's out of, I can't defend myself. I'm just stupid. It's okay.
Jordan, I'll see you soon.
Colin, you still got that juice?
There's apple juice right here.
Yeah, you want to take a sip of it for me?
No!
Producers, I need a towel.
All right. Okay. We are now in our first elimination, post-merge.
Mom, can you tell Grammy to be quiet?
Okay, Karen has muted.
The beef between Trey and Fiona is totally fake, and I think that's hilarious.
All right.
The ideal freshman TTS experience.
Why is its nose green?
Because my roommate found it in a garbage can.
There might have been a typo. Oh, it says fuck autocorrect.
Finally, we have Georgia something that is microwave safe.
You got it!
Hey, it's Billy Garcia from Survivor Cook Island.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I know, Sam, you can't hear me, but I'm gonna tell Antonio what the plan is. So Sam's gonna take care of his laptop. I'm gonna kick him out of the Zoom so we can take care of that and not have to worry.
Holly, is there any way you can kick me out of this meeting?
All right, everyone has $500 tonight. Yes, Colin.
I don't want to. I was really hoping you wouldn't see the head because it's a really dumb question.
You gotta ask now.
I was gonna ask if we needed real money or not.
Antonio,
Oh yeah, what's up?
I would just like to show you a text that I just received from Trey Harris. It says, "And that's how you pull off a blind side."
As Will Smith put it, life got flipped turned upside down.
Brian.
Yeah, I have a question. Are suds polka dots?
See you Wednesday, Rebecca. I'll see you in hell.
Wow. That was a memory jam freaking stuffed video. Really makes you grateful. We've had a ton of amazing times here. Now, does anyone have any last things to say before I read the final votes?
I have one thing. The other day I went on a walk with Clara, and she was not only wearing a polka dot headscarf, but also a polka dot mask. And as soon as that challenge was over, she sent me a picture of her bed sheets, which are also polka dot. So I just want to say,
I don't need this right now. We went on the walk, and then you looked at me and you were like, did you have that? And I was like, yeah, I did.
Grace?
I have to say, who the F was that in that first season 1 intro? Because that certainly was not me. The thing about me swallowing my first tooth on a burnt quesadilla is true. I cried about it to my preschool teacher, and then I had to write a note to the tooth fairy telling her that I was sorry for swallowing my first tooth.
Oh my
But
God.
she still gave me $1, so it's okay, guys. It's all good. But who was that? Who am I? Okay, that's it. Bye.
I had to put my cat in the litter box. I'm so sorry. I was worried he's about to pee on my suitcase. No, Grace. Talk about character development right in front of our very eyes. You grew up right in front of me, Grace. Wow, I blinked and now all of a sudden, here you are. I guess there's no use in avoiding the inevitable. Reading the final votes. We have a first vote for Grace. We have a second vote for Grace. We have a vote for Grace. And the winner of Survivor TTS Season 3 is Grace freaking Archer. Congratulations, Grace. Everyone turn your mic off. Give her your...
Oh, great.
That's our favorite Grace.
You are the third and final winner of Survivor TTS. It is an honor. It is a party. Do you have any words?
I guess just y'all were killing me during that. Sorry, that was so funny. I love y'all so much. I had so much fun doing this because I always said that at the end of the day, it's not that deep. It's just a game, and we're here to have fun. And I had fun in season 1. I had fun watching season 2. I had fun doing it all again in season 3. And I think Georgia put it perfectly. I think this was great for, my experience, my time here. I have loved getting to know all of you. Genuinely, you are all amazing people.
Thank you to my roommates who are on either sides of me right now, but they're not here. And then there's another one that's missing right now. But they're all amazing and cool and have helped me be who I am. And also my family was also super kind, and you were all super kind, and I love you all so much. And it's just a repetition of me telling you guys how much I love y'all. So maybe I'll just end it here on a high note in that I love you all. And in case if you forgot one more time, I do love y'all. So yes, thank you so much. I love you guys. Mwah.
Well, Grace said it best. She is now our winner of Survivor TTS Season 3. This has been our final season for the third quarter of the 2020-2021 school year. I cannot express how grateful I am to anyone who's watched any bit of this, anyone who's looked at any Instagram message, post, or Slack channel or anything. This is something I've dedicated a ridiculous amount of time to. And every single time any of this, it's just so amazing. It just pays off so much. And I'm so grateful to all of you guys for every single thing that you guys do. And I'm grateful to every single audience member and every single family member of mine who literally I forced to be involved in the show in one way or another.
Can I say one more thing? Sorry.
Grace, please.
Oh, I just wanted to say to the people that do not go to DePaul, or the people that went to DePaul but no longer go to DePaul, and the people that are graduating from DePaul this year, you guys are super cool. And I know I won't see you at school when I'm in person when it's in person next year. And to the people that do go to DePaul right now, I will see you sexy bitches in the fall. But to those who don't, y'all are all very cool and also sexy. Don't forget it. And yeah. Just wanted to put that into the space.
Survivor is amazing. It's truly all love. And with that, I conclude our final episode of Survivor. Peace and also love.